Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to a training on the types of voter contact and why it is important to contact our voters in critical presidential, local, federal, state elections. The types of voter contact are different depending on the type of outreach an organization wants to accomplish. First off, we're going to go over phone calling and why that's important, the importance of voter contact, door contacting, knocking on doors, canvassing your community, and taking surveys of the community. So when it comes to phone calling, it is easier, faster, and more effective with more rural voters. That's because they feel like you're having a one-on-one direct phone conversation with them. Phone calls that are the bad side is less reliable phone numbers. Our system tends to have phone numbers that are cell phone numbers or landlines that are usually unlikely to be picked up, but it's the numbers that are connected to our surveys, and that's the list that we must go through and contact our voters and get an idea of what the community feels in this election. The phone calls aren't really that personal. You have to make them personal instead of sounding like a robot or an automated voice. This connection is really important to a voter and will make the difference for when they come out to vote in an election. It does have a lower success rate since the numbers are less reliable and we are sending voicemails out rapidly to these voters. But recent experiments of professional and volunteer phone calls have shown a great influence on presidential and local elections, delivering effective communications to voters. In recent studies, it has shown that communication over the phone to voters can be just as effective as canvassing through door knocking. So you might be asking yourself why we practice voter contact. We practice our voter contact for mass media outreach. Um, we do modern connections, and we do it's very inexpensive to contact our voters this way and has a high voter influence. New findings, even by Petrov and Sen, show that it is cheaper to do social media outreach like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat posts, even Facebook Live to contact voters when candidates or even our politicians contact voters through social media. They're saving a lot of money on their campaigns. Successful contact through canvassing has also shown that a election can be flipped or influenced by almost 9 percentage points due to the personal contact a voter gets from a representative. But only 1 in 10 voters say that they received a home visit of door knocking in 2020 election due to lack of canvassing in their communities. And this was a research conducted by Daimler and Gilberstadt down by the Pew Research Center. So today we're going to be introducing the canvassing app called Voter Connect Pro, Contact Pro. This is available on the Apple and Android markets. So it does require some space. So you guys are going to have to make sure that you have enough space for these applications and the surveys that we have to connect with these voters. This is what your login screen will be. You're going to use your username and password that the administration gives you or your local field organizer gives you as well. Once you log in, your name will appear at the top and your assigned surveys from your field organizer will appear. To do surveys, just click on the assigned survey list. How many appear? It should only be 1. Next, you're going to see a screen that shows you instructions, greetings, survey questions, and even practice. Once you selected the desired survey, you're just going to go ahead and preview those survey questions under survey questions. Then once you get comfortable with practicing the survey questions, you're going to launch the practice. Once you launch the practice, it'll show you the greetings and the closings. Once you get familiar with the greetings, you'll have a more personal connect with the voter. Now, these greetings aren't something that you have to stay 100% true to. Make it your own. That way you connect with the voters in your community and you don't sound like a robot that the voters are going to hang up on right away. These are previews of sample questions that we're going to be asking our voters. They're going to be addressed to the election at hand and what's most important to our voters. These are some settings that if you need help, they can help you out. This is our main screen. Once you press the play button at the top right of your screen, it will start automatically dialing these numbers. Once you're connected with a voter, the targeted voters will show up addressed to that number. Once you reach to one of those names and said your greeting, you want to click on their name and introduce them to the survey questions if they agree to a survey question. If you make a mistake and you need to hang up, terminate the call, just press the arrow in the top left. Below are the answers for dismissal. This will be no answer, busy number, wrong number, refused or hung up, or left voicemail. These make us more efficient in our voting phone calls, so we know what's a fax number, what's an unreachable number, or who just doesn't want to answer our surveys. Once you're done and complete the survey, don't forget to have that friendly closing. Once you have that friendly closing and you connect with the voter, reminding them the date of the election, the time of the election, and how to find out where they can vote, make sure you click Complete Survey and disconnect from the voter. This will be your screen where you can check how many phone calls you're making an hour, you're making, a day. All these will come up on the connected survey. Once you're done for the day, just click Stop Calling and it'll bring you back to the main screen. These are the sources that I've used from the research methods that I provided. Thanks for coming to the training on voter contact. And remember, voter contact can make a difference between a win and a loss for our important candidates.